am a global sales and marketing executive, speaker, and business leader with a 25-year career in the cruise and hospitality industries. My expertise extends from contract negotiation with international retail groups to sales, marketing, and operations strategy. I have my MBA in international business and a BA from the University of British Columbia. And I live and work in Toronto, Canada. If you'd like for more information, you can visit my website, which is www.danagain.com. And if you'd like to see the blog, just add a /blog to the end of that. Thank you.
Right now.
It's the Kayton Travel Show on the Travel Channel on TVU with your host, Wendy Sung. How you doing, Wendy?
I'm doing great, James. How about you?
Fantastic. Another great show on the go. What's happening?
Yes, we're excited to have Dana Gain with us. She has expertise in the tourism area and especially in the cruise side. And yeah, we were very fortunate to have her join us today. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Wendy. Thank you for having me today. Great to talk to you.
Yes. Thank you again for doing this with us. And I sure have a lot of questions with you, but I just want to kind of get your expertise right now, what you think the tourism is going with this post or still in a pandemic session, and also what have travel agents kind of done post or prior to, and what the value of using travel agents going forward?
Okay, that sounded like 3 questions.
Yeah, I know.
Which is all good. So I mean, I can just give you my sense of what's been happening. One of the things that we noticed fairly early on, and when I say we, I mean myself and my colleagues in the industry, is that the travel agency community fell into 2 very distinct buckets. The travel agents or travel consultants that were very, very busy with a lot of the cancellations, questions. I mean, there's been some controversial moves by a lot of different companies that were under discussion. So the travel agents have really been fielding a lot of those questions and concerns from their customers. And then the other side is the travel agents that are no longer working. So it's a very big divide between those 2 groups. So they're either in semi-early retirement for the time being on furlough, or they are run off their feet. What we're hearing from customers right now is, again, when I say we, I mean myself and my colleagues in the industry, is that there's a lot of interest in travel. There's not a lot of fear necessarily preventing people from traveling. What's preventing them are the practical considerations, which is to say, if I travel and I come home, I need to quarantine for 14 days. And in some cases, I need to quarantine when I get to where I'm going also. And so if you add up 14 days, and let's call it a week vacation, most people don't get that for their whole year. So it's just not really a consideration for most people while it's in this place, unless, of course, you're traveling within Canada. But again, the rules are all over the place, and they seem to be changing all the time in an environment that's changing all the time. And this, I think, comes back to the reason that we're having this conversation, which is that's what makes the travel agency community so incredibly valuable to consumers right now. They're always valuable, but especially when there's all this uncertainty. I don't know if I answered all 3 questions.
Oh, you did. Thank you so much. And I guess for people that have considered or haven't used a travel agent, can you kind of give us some highlights of why they should use one? I read your blog was very, very well written, actually.
Oh, thank you for visiting danagain.com. I have a blog there. What I'm trying to do is pinpoint on that blog some of the biggest conversation pieces that are happening in the current environment. And to the one that you referenced, with regard to using a travel professional, I think that the very rational conclusions that most consumers draw is that if I go direct to the source, I'm getting a better price. I'm sure that that applies in a lot of industries, but the truth of the matter is it doesn't really apply in travel. I'm going to secure the same price whether I work with a travel agent or go to the supplier or cruise line or hotelier directly, more often than not. And so what you're essentially getting as a consumer is all of this value behind the knowledge and the expertise and the years of experience. This group of people that we adore, the travel professionals, their entire life is about staying up to date in what's going on. And so if I'm a consumer and I want to know, is it okay to go to this place? Can I leave Edmonton and come to Toronto for a visit? Can I fly? Do I have to quarantine? That's all, again, we said it's a little up in the air depending on where you're coming from and how long you're going and how you're getting there. And so you've got the travel agency community that's ready and on standby to answer those types of questions. The value associated with that, pricing aside, let's just assume that it's going to cost you the same whether you go to a travel agent or you don't. The amount of peace of mind that will give to consumers who are considering traveling, and let's face it, probably very much want to. They're tired of staying at home. So, there's a lot of value there. So we know the economics make sense. It's a bit of a stress buster for consumers when they go to their trusted travel professional who will give them this guidance and give them this advice. And one of the most important things is, travel agents and travel professionals, they're not walking encyclopedias. They certainly have a lot of information, but what they do know is if they don't know the answer to a question, they know exactly who to contact. I can't say that that's going to be true for every consumer. They might start surfing the internet. They might go to the Canadian government's website. They might go to the airline website or wherever to try to find this information when they could simply pick up the phone and talk to their travel professional. So there's just so much value in the travel agency community. And at a time like this, it really becomes obvious to the consumer.
That is so well said. Some of my clients have been able to just reach out to me saying that once they use a travel agents and they're able to reach me directly versus doing online, they'll never ever do that again. Just stress relief and so much information on the internet nowadays, like, is it even trustworthy to go ahead with that information? So yeah, very, very, very well said there, Dana. So with that said, I really never asked you this question. Please share with us some of your background in the industry. Is very, very, very impressive, and let us know what else you do outside of travel.
Let's keep everyone's expectations low. It's not that impressive, but I started out in the travel industry in 2002, so 18 years in the industry. I spent 16 of those at large cruise lines, and most recently at Air Canada Vacations before we parted ways, along with many, many other people at Air Canada in the past couple of months. So I still keep in touch with my colleagues at Air Canada Vacations, and try to support each other as much as we can. Great group of people over there. Very, very, very capable and very well informed. So that's my experience in the industry, and I'm sure it's obvious by now, but I'm a big fan of the travel agency community. I find them just a wonderful group of people, and you don't have to look very far to find someone that will absolutely go above and beyond to try to support you, because travel, as much as anything, is an emotional decision, and there's so many expectations wrapped up in it that the person you choose to help you with that becomes incredibly important. Excellent.
And Dana, could you explain to me what the elite status that you have with the cruise scholar certification? That's something that you're the first person to achieve that. So I'd love to hear about how you got that. Yeah, I
haven't talked about that in a while. So Cruise Lines International Association has accreditations that they offer to the travel agency community, and each accreditation gives you a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more expertise. The levels are accredited cruise counselor, master cruise counselor. They have elite cruise counselor, and the one that I have, which is elite cruise counselor scholar, which basically means you've taken and passed every single course they have to offer. It was a little challenge I presented to myself back in 2009, and happened to stumble across the information that no other cruise line employee in history had ever gotten that far. It's really not that big a deal, but I'm just a very curious person by nature. So,
yeah, for sure. And just on this right now, I know that the cruise industry is uncertain right now. I see that they're pushing more. Some of them are starting, even though they started, like a pushback again. So with your background in cruising going forward, what do you see us going? Is it safe to travel again in cruising 2020, or people kind of maybe looking towards 2021 instead?
Well, it's funny. The stock market had a great day when Carnival Corp spoke about their earnings. Very, very positive results for 2021. I think the only thing preventing people from sailing now is they effectively can't. But I find it's kind of funny to think about the people that have cruised or want to, and the people that haven't. Yeah. I've heard a lot of conversations over the last few months about people that say, I'll just never cruise. But those are probably the same people that said it before the pandemic hit. They just have an extra reason now. But if you speak to the people that are the cruise veterans, that are people that have cruised at least once before, usually more than that, they're not afraid to go cruising. They're ready to go. Most of them are ready to book, and they're ready to sail, and they can't wait. There's a lot of trust, I think, between the consumer and the cruise companies, because those that have cruised understand how well things are managed on board the ship. The onboard experience is an incredibly safe and healthy one. And when you add in the extra layer of the health and safety protocols that are being put into place now, those that have cruised understand, well, I'm not going to be at risk. And they're very comfortable with the idea. I don't know what people will end up doing ultimately, but the fact that the bookings in 2021 are as strong as they are, not just for Carnival, for many of the cruise brands, it's a very, very good indicator that pent-up demand is lurking in the background. There are a lot of people, I think, that are ready to cruise now. I am.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you said, the restrictions are what you've mentioned earlier. People will be stuck with having a days of quarantine as of right now. But I think 2021 is a safe year, and the travel industry have done such a great job of just taking care of everybody, like just everyone. So just very proud of that, and having someone like yourself to consult and share with us your expertise. We are very, very, very grateful for sure. And we're gonna have you back next time, and love to share talk with you some of the interesting conversation with travel again.
The time goes very fast, doesn't it, Wendy? Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dana.
I am a global sales and marketing executive, speaker, and business leader with a 25-year career in the cruise and hospitality industries. My expertise extends from contract negotiation with international retail groups to sales, marketing, and operations strategy. I have my MBA in international business and a BA from the University of British Columbia. And I live and work in Toronto, Canada. If you'd like for more information, you can visit my website, which is www.danagain.com. And if you'd like to see the blog, just add a /blog to the end of that. Thank you.